What's happening, gamers? This is Bradley here, and welcome back to another news roundup. And to kick us off with some exciting news, in that Capcom has announced a brand spanking new Monster Hunter game for the 3DS, and it is going to be a departure from other entries in the series. As you can tell right off the bat, this new game, which is called Monster Hunter Stories, has a very different art style, as it's brighter and more cartoony, which is a bit different from other entries in the series which go for a more realistic look. But the visuals won't be the only thing that will be different, as it seems like they'll be putting a heavier focus on the story this time around, and it will be a story that can only be told through an RPG. Monster Hunter Stories will tell the tale about the relationship between monsters and riders, who are able to ride the monsters, and you play as a rider. How to Train Your Dragon. At this point, we really don't know much about the gameplay, but I'm going to assume that the combat is going to be similar to other Monster Hunter games, albeit it looks like you can have a monster help you fight. And also from the trailer, it looks like it will have a more open world-ish vibe, which is cool. Capcom has been designing Monster Hunter Stories for about 5 years now, and it is set to release in Japan in 2016. I am really digging what Capcom is doing with the Monster Hunter brand, because in all honesty, even though the Monster Hunter games are fun, they are very similar to each other, so Stories will be a nice change of pace. I just hope that they don't dumb down the combat, because that's what makes Monster Hunter, Monster Hunter. And as for whether or not Monster Hunter Stories will get localized outside of Japan, there's a very good chance that it will, because the series is getting more popular outside of Japan, and the latest game, 4 Ultimate, sold quite well, so I'm sure Capcom will want to take advantage of that. But Monster Hunter Stories wasn't the only new game to be announced recently, because we now have confirmation that the Nintendo 3DS title, Project Cross Zone, is getting a sequel, called Project Cross Zone 2 Brave New World. A trailer for the game was released, and it is still a collaboration between Bandai Namco, Capcom, and Sega, where a bunch of characters from those 3 companies come together. There will be some new characters joining the fray, alongside some veterans from the original game, like Mega Man X, but some of the new characters include ones from the Yakuza franchise or even Shinobi and Strider. But there will be even more characters beyond that, so maybe we'll see OG Mega Man or even Knuckles the Enchilada. We need some Sonic Bammy representatives. Make it happen! The trailer for the game doesn't show any gameplay footage, but there are gameplay screenshots. And the game is still a tactical RPG like the first entry, but you can probably expect some new features to be sprinkled in. And we don't have to worry about whether or not Project Cross Zone 2 Brave New World will get localized outside of Japan, because it has been confirmed that it will be releasing worldwide in fall of this year. I never bought the first game, I only played the demo, but I thought it was rather interesting, so I'm open to giving the sequel a chance. From there is that we now have confirmation, courtesy of the official Tumblr site for Splatoon, that each Splatoon amiibo will unlock 20 extra missions. And since there's 3 Splatoon amiibo, the Inkling Girl, the Inkling Boy, and the Squid, that's 60 missions altogether. Once you beat enough missions, you will unlock a special mission, and once you beat that, the amiibo will reward you with in-game gear, and that could be different weapons, headgear, and clothing. I don't know how long each mission will be, but they probably won't be that long. There is 60 altogether, so that is quite a bit of content. So you might find it to be worthwhile to pick these 3 amiibo up, even though it is basically on-disc DLC, but you do get a cute little figure. And finally is that we heard a while ago that we'd be able to download some data files for Xenoblade Chronicles X on our Wii U if we got a physical copy to make it load faster. And now we have some more details about that. In Japan, the files are now available to download before the game releases, and it is separated into 4 different packs that you can download, and it all culminates into about 10 gigabytes of space. Since I do plan to pick up a physical copy of Xenoblade Chronicles X, I'm going to have to get an external hard drive so I can have room for those 10 gigs. This will be completely optional, you won't have to download the files if you don't want to, but your game will load slower. By how much, we don't know yet. Staring at a loading screen isn't exactly fun, so downloading those files might be worthwhile. And that rhymed. And that will bring us to the end of the news roundup. If you liked what you saw, please give this video a thumbs up and add your favorites and all that good stuff. And you can stay tuned for more videos in the future. But I will talk to you later in the next video, guys. Bye!